Greetings and welcome everyone to my first impressions of The Sacred Tears True, developed by Alpha Nuts and published by New Media. Now, The Sacred Tears True is a little JRPG sort of game where you run around, talk to people. You're a thief called Seal, and you have this good friend of yours. But before we go on to that, I just want to talk about this. Now, so this is basically how you pick the next level you want to play. There are books here. The red ones are ones that you haven't played, blue ones are finished, and the sort of grey-blue books are ones that you haven't unlocked yet. So something that I find quite weird about this is that you can open the blue books and like nothing happens. If you do that for the red ones, you can go in them and start the episode. I thought, oh, maybe this is a level select screen and you can go back to the older episodes and play through them. No, surprisingly not. First criticism, why can't I replay levels? This seems like it would be the perfect way to implement a replay level system. I mean, you've already got the way to like select the levels in here. It's very intuitive to select the books that you've already read and just read them again. Like, that would be fine. Just keep your current stats and I don't really see what would be the big problem. It's weird. Anyway, I do want to show off one episode in particular, that's this episode, but since I can't replay it, we'll have to quit out to the main menu first and then go back into it. So continue, and that one. Yeah, I made a save that's set just after the intro cutscene takes place. I wanted to show you the intro cutscene, but it doesn't let you save until the cutscene's over, so can't do it. So anyway, we are Seal. We are a thief, and we work for a thieves guild, and we've been given the mission to steal the ledger of our friend Jean's workplace. And we're like, that's pretty bad. That's no good. So we're like, what should we do? And we're like, okay, well, why don't we go talk to Jean and have a conversation with him, maybe get a fake ledger, give that to them, trick the guild, stuff like that. And, you know, it's pretty good stuff, pretty good idea. So that's basically all the plot there is. So let's just actually talk to this person here. Where's Jean? He's out right now. I think he'll be back tonight. That might be just perfect. Oh, really? Anyway, now you can see that the little bar on the right hand side of the screen has turned yellow. That means it's time for us to return back to our base and wait until night, and then we can begin the mission proper. And as you can see in this, like, so far, there's a lot of walking about, and that is actually what the game mostly consists of. You'd think maybe in an RPG, oh, the majority of it would be combat or something like that, but really no, it's just walking around. You do have this little sprint that you can do, but the reason why you don't want to sprint all over the place is that if you're sprinting, you'll lose like half your health in battle if it's empty. So like you'll lose an amount of your health proportionate to how much of your stamina you've exhausted. So if I say sprint until my health is or my stamina is depleted and then initiate battle, you can see that my health is about half. See, you got the light blue bar, that means what current health I have, and the like sort of darker blue, faded out blue, that means the total health that I have. If I press shift, which is how I activate a health pack, it'll bring it back up to full, so now I'm at full health. Anyway, here is the battle mode. So the way that it works is that you select up to 3 cards and then you use them. So we have swords, dodge, and shield. There's also magic, which we can use, but I don't have that card available right now, so let me just use that, accept that, and try and kill this bat, or these bats rather. Do I have magic now? Yes, I do. Okay, so as you can see, there are numbers next to them. It goes from 1 to 4, and then also S, which I mistakenly thought was a 5 at first, since that sort of made sense, but it turns out it's actually an S, which I find weird. Anyway, let's pick the magic for 2 and the shield for 3. So that the way that this combat system works is that you don't really get to choose what sort of attacks you have. There's no like different sorts of attacks. There's no magic attacks or anything like that. It's just mostly random. And the power of your attack is determined through the number that's next to the card, and you want to make sure that your numbers are higher than the enemy's numbers. So let's give another example here. So, okay, so you see here it says caution 4. That means the enemy has a 4 card in their deck, so we've got to be careful. Now, it doesn't actually tell us which card is the number 4 one. So it could be an attack, it could be an evade, it could be a block. We don't know. So we want to use our highest level cards during these sections just to be safe. Alright, so it was an attack. That means we're going to take a bunch of damage from that. That was a shame. So the combat system isn't really trying to use your abilities for strength. It's more about just trying to lessen the risk, I guess. Like, you want to make sure that you've got your proper cards needed when you'll need them the most. So you don't want to use all your most powerful cards at first, because then when they get a caution, you'll be just absolutely destroyed because of it. So you want to make sure that you're always using a mixture of low cards and high cards during the normal turns, but then you also want to make sure that you have high enough level cards for when they have a high caution, or when they have a level 4 card and it says caution. Anyway, I'm going to try and end this. So you can select which cards you want with the spacebar, and you can cancel it by pressing C. And Shift can use the med pack if you have any, but I don't. So actually, what I'll do is I'll activate that. So that was a med pack, which I believe will, when I die, it will instantly give me full health instead. So now I can heal myself up, because I transferred the health pack from being a health pack to just med packs that I can apply anytime. So that's the difference there. You can also use as many med packs as you want during your own turn. There's not a set amount you can do. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's just try and end this now. Can I do it? Nope. So now you saw there that my little wizard lady, she just casted a spell on me, and that increased my defense, I think, or something like that. So you don't actually get to decide what spell she casts. It's entirely random, because if we go here to our stat screen, Siana has two sorts of things you can put levels into, 2 stats, magic and judge. So judge means her judgment is better, so that she'll choose the more appropriate magic for the situation. So you want to put judge up high, but you've also got magic, which is just your overall magic efficiency. So the power of the magic, how much health she'll heal you, how much attack you'll get boosted, that sort of thing. So there is a sort of mix that you want to do. You want to make sure you've got both pretty high. We've also got health over here for Seal. We've got health, we've got attack, we've got defense, and evade. So these are sort of the these are fairly common that you see in most RPGs. You know, put attack up to high, you do more damage, that sort of stuff. Although what's really different about this game is that you can remove your points at any time, so you can respec your character on the fly, which is really quite nice. So if you want to go for like a total tank and have like, I don't know, 120 health and 6 defense, you can totally do that. You won't do anything for attack power, but you can have a bunch of health if you want. That's something you can totally do, which is awesome. Let me put that to 20, give defense up, put that there, there we are. Okay, there we are. So you can also get sort of upgrades for your ability. So you see I've got like this thing here, which I can place around. Alright, hold on. How do I do this? I remember being able to do it once. Oh, there we are. No? Okay. Can I... Oh, there we go. Can I move it over now? Huh. Apparently I can only put attack up. Oh well. For some reason it said agility up. Huh. Interesting. I guess attack and agility both go up. Okay, here's something that really weirds me out. Why do these monsters or enemies just randomly like speed up? Like, it makes no sense. Why do you just randomly go boom at the speed of sound? It's just so weird. Anyway, also now we're in another battle. You can see that my health bar is fully maxed out because I wasn't drained of my stamina. So that's how it works. Also, your health fully regenerates after battle. So even if you were at like the very lowest of health at the end of a battle, you're instantly filled up to the very top. Something that sort of annoys me about this combat system, though, is that there's never any moments where you fight more than one person on the screen at once. In fact, I'm fairly certain the way that it's set up right now is how it's set up for the entirety of the game. So there's one enemy, and there's you and your mage. I mean, occasionally your mage won't be there, but that's about it. Like, you don't get another supporting character. Jesus Christ, I have so many evades on this thing. I need to get rid of some of them. So overall, the combat system doesn't change that much. I wasn't able to see anything that really changed, like in the trailers and screenshots and all that. It looked pretty much like this for the entirety of the game, which is kind of disappointing. In fact, the combat system as a whole is kind of disappointing. I thought with the whole card thing, it'd be a lot like Chain of Memories from Kingdom Hearts, where you have this whole deck building aspect to it. But you don't have a deck building aspect to it, which I find really weird for a game that focuses around cards as its primary like combat mechanic. So that's just a bit odd for it to do. Anyway, let's just carry on. Now, another thing that's actually quite weird about this game is that it's a story about a thief, but it's a JRPG. I find that to be quite weird. Normally JRPGs, they give the character sort of this motivation where he'll constantly go out into fights for a reason, like Final Fantasy VII, for example. You know, Cloud was in there, he was a mercenary or whatever like that. And so, oh, okay, he got into fights. He was an ex-soldier, that stuff. That's reasonable for him to get into a bunch of fights. So, you'd be fine with that, but for like a sneaky dude? Like, why is he running around getting into fights? He's a sneaky dude. He should be like, not seen at all. Also, I will admit, I do quite enjoy the little run that Seal does when he sprints or when he dashes. Oh, look at that. It looks so goofy. It looks so cute and goofy. It reminds me a lot of actually, Strider Hiryu's new run from the Strider 2014 game. I'm not sure if you played that or not, but it looks a lot like that. It's that sort of ninja run. It's cute. Which doesn't make much sense since he's a thief and not a ninja, but whatever. Anyway, let's move on. We're going to have to find Jean, or spoilers actually. We're going to have to go talk to Jean, and it turns out he's missing because we don't know where he is. And yeah, Jean hasn't come back. He's gone to the suburbs, stuff like that. Okay, that's good to know. So now we have to go to the suburbs. She's adding this overtime to her work fee. And there's actually quite a bit of dialogue in this game, and you know, for a game that has a lot of dialogue, there really isn't that much said during this game. Like it has a lot of dialogue, but it's about the writing. It's not very good, and that's a real bummer. Like, the writing seems to be about on par with like a webcomic from 2003, and it's just a real shame because, you know, I like JRPGs for the, well, like, it's a real shame because a lot of the game is, you know, the writing. You're spending a lot of time reading, so when what you're reading isn't that interesting, well, that can put a big downer on things. That's a real shame. Like, the characters are all sort of, you know, generic cliches. Like this guy that we're playing as, he's a bumbling idiot. But for some reason, you know, there's a love thing going on with him and this girl that he's hanging around with, but I just do not understand what she sees in him, because he's a bumbling doofus. She literally has to make him all his meals and give him the like carrots and proper like vegetables and stuff like that, because he can't do it himself because he's such a doofus. And just, oh, what does she see in him? And so it's just like, why? I don't quite get it. And then there's also so it's just like these are the sort of things that you would see in like a web comic or something like that. And so I just do not quite like the writing. Feels very cliched, as if I've read it a million times. So that's a shame. Another thing that I'm not a big fan of is the overworld sprites for the characters. The shading is a bit weird. It actually doesn't change during the time of day or time of night, so that's kind of odd. At most they'll put a weird orange filter on it to say that it's like sunset or something, but that's it. And yeah, so I'm not a big fan of the overworld sprites. They look kind of ugly, especially front on. Just Not a fan. The background images look kind of nice. They're pretty well detailed. So I approve of those. It's just, you know, I wouldn't mind the overworld sprites so much if it wasn't for the fact that the in-game sprites, or the, in-battle sprites, like, look at those! Those are freaking gorgeous! Those look absolutely fantastic, and the backgrounds in here actually look way better as well, so that's even impressive, because, I mean, the backgrounds in the normal game, wow, I'm gonna get wrecked. Alright, she saved me, that's good. Yeah, the backgrounds in the normal game aren't even that bad, so it's impressive that they managed to make the backgrounds look even better here. You know, sometimes, it's just, this game's really inconsistent with its quality, because, like, look at the character portraits. Those are beautiful, and this game actually does have some very nice sort of cutscenes. Like, it'll occasionally go to cutscenes where it has, you know, hand-drawn pictures and stuff like that, and it's beautiful during those moments. And then occasionally we go back to this, and it's like, what the heck's going on? I don't quite understand. Yeah, it's just weird. Also, here we are. This is a glitch. Right, see, I heard there's a mother in this cave. A mother is like a boss monster. So I heard that. I heard that from him, and I was like, okay, where's the boss monster? I want to see where it is. So I searched all throughout this cave, and I beat all the bad guys up, and there was still no mother to be found. And the reason for that is, well, let's just save, put it in a new slot, just for the hell of it. Quit. Yes, I'm sure I want to quit. UI is kind of nice. Reload it. Alright, he's still here, what? Oh, let's see if we can't... Oh wow, he's still here, that's odd. Okay, so apparently I can't show it to you, but what's supposed to happen is that he's not supposed to be there anymore, and instead the whole amount of enemies there is supposed to change. Let's see if it fixes itself now. No, he's still there, huh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, so normally there's like a red wolf cat thing here that you have to fight, or not have to, but it's a... But you can fight it, and it's pretty dangerous. I wonder if it's there now. Nope, still not there. Is he still here? Yeah, he's still here. That's really odd. Okay, so, yeah, so... Normally what's supposed to happen is that, you know, there's a monster there, you fight it, you get really pissed off, you grind for ages, you fight it, you kill it, and then you realize that actually it has nothing to do with the game proper, and you're not supposed to do that in the first place, and it's just sort of like a side boss monster. Huh, okay, he's not here, that's odd. I guess maybe you do have to kill it or something? I'm not sure, it's a bit iffy how that works. Anyway, we were told to go there to try and find Gene, but turns out Gene's actually not there, so we don't need to do that. Also, here's a minor gripe I have with this combat system. Why can't I run away? Like, that is really annoying because the game doesn't have any sort of autosave feature, so when you die in a combat section, you'll have to reload your last save, which can be pretty far away if you've forgotten to save for a while. And, like, that wouldn't be so bad of a problem if I could run away. That way, it would be on me for not having the better foresight to run away when I had the chance. And I was like, oh, okay. So, like, why isn't there the option to run away? That's just, oh, that's so annoying. Like, even, I feel like something like Final Fantasy 3 or 2 had a runaway option. So, like, why can't this have one? Is it a limitation of the engine? Because this is RPG Maker 2005 or 2000, so it is a pretty old engine. So maybe that's why. I'm not 100% sure, because there are some limitations this engine has that, you know, they're just not allowed to do because they don't have access to the source code and stuff like that. So that's fair enough, but. If it is possible to add a runaway option, I would definitely like one to be there. Hold on, that's not the right way. That's just another area. And another gripe I have with this game is that there's really not that much variety in locations. Now, you probably think, oh, that's ridiculous. Just look at how many different areas we've seen in this video alone. And, well, yeah, that's true. There's a lot of different locations in this video. You need to understand, this is like a 20-hour RPG, and there's really not that much variety. Like, you've seen a good deal of all the environments in this game. Like, there's the only real difference, the only, like, environments I actually haven't shown you are a few sewers and stuff like that, so you're really not missing much from what I haven't shown you. There's also, like, This game seems like it has a lot of heart put into it, and that's cool, but it's also very run-of-the-mill. I think that's the biggest downside of this game. Like the writing isn't all that special. The combat system lacks a lot of depth because it's a bit too randomized, in my opinion. Like you can't even build a deck so that you can like tailor it to your own sort of play style. You can't have an emphasis on say attacks or something like that. That's just randomized for you, which is a real shame. I feel like that was a big missed opportunity. All you can do is just sort of deal with the hand that you're dealt, and yeah. There is also this weird sort of side game where if you're stealthy on missions, your bounty will go up. Because if you look here, like my bounty is 22,000 Flynn, or Phil. It's like Gil, but with an F instead. And so you want to be as sneaky as you can on missions and stuff like that. And that's actually a pretty interesting mechanic. You want to be stealthy and you want to make sure you're doing as good as you can so you can have the highest bounty and be rewarded and stuff like that. Except, alright, she's adding this to her overtime. Huh, that's odd. Except, like, it's not a stealth game, really, so the amount of areas you get into stealth sections are few and far between. Mostly it's just, you know, your average JRPG, so I find it quite weird that they have that system in there. I mean, it's a cool system, don't get me wrong, it just feels out of place in this sort of game. I just feel like they picked the wrong sort of occupation for this character. That's a real downside to it. Oh god, I might die here. That's a shame. Oh, there you go, you just saw a clash there. That's what happens when... died. You just saw a clash there. That's what happens when two enemies pick the same level card, and well, they just clash and nothing happens. You know, I really can't think of anything else to say about the Sacred Tears True. I feel like I've said all I can about it. I mean, it's a pretty average JRPG. It's missing a few features. You know, there's not many resolution options. Well, there's no resolution options, which I find very annoying because, you know, I record Let's Plays, I record videos, and not having that option is really annoying to me because, you know, the way that my recording is set up, it'd be nice to just have it in 720p or 1080p. I mean, I could just change my recording setup and stuff, but it'd be easier if I could just select a resolution, and you know, even it could just have black bars on it. That'd be fine. I'd accept that. You know, that'd be a perfectly fine solution in my opinion. And you know what? This game actually needs just more options. I think that's exactly what this game needs more of, because there's no options to say turn off the music, turn down the music, stuff like that. And now you're probably saying, oh, can't you just Alt-Tab and turn it down and say Windows Media Player, or in the volume player, or something like that? And normally you'd be right, but for some reason this game really hates Alt-Tabbing. Every single time I've Alt-Tabbed, I've Alt-Tabbed out of it to turn it down, it either crashed the game, or when I Alt-Tabbed back into the game, it'd crash. And that's annoying. Now, okay, now I have a question about this character. Grandpa, I'm waiting for a gift from the wind. Is this my grandpa? Or is this just everyone's grandpa? It doesn't specify, and Seal doesn't react. It just says grandpa. Why isn't Seal reacting to the fact that his grandpa is just chilling out here? Whose grandpa is this? And on that note, that was actually, I was gonna end it, but there's actually just a glitch there that happened that really bugs me. So you just saw the screen flash black for like a nanosecond, and actually might not have because of YouTube's 30 FPS thing, and I'm recording this in 60, whatever. So this game will occasionally just flash black for no reason at all, and I find that the weirdest thing. I don't understand why. No other game does it, so it's not my hardware, so it must be a game thing. So why is it just randomly flashing black? That's weird. I don't get it. So really, that's all that is there. That's all that there is to be said about the Sacred Tears True. It's a pretty average JRPG. It's got a few issues. It's very cliche. The combat system doesn't have much depth, and the sprite work could be better. So yeah, it's on Steam for like $9.99 or something like that, so I guess expectations shouldn't be too high. But then again, when you're on Steam, you're also competing with stuff like Final Fantasy VII, which is I think only a couple dollars more expensive. So, you know, if you're going for the retro look and you're competing with Final Fantasy VII, you kind of have big shoes to fill there. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. Hope you enjoyed it, and GG.